Oh. Oh my god, I don't want to see! They're gonna show her body, aren't they?
Are you there?
It doesn't matter. What's important is you're
Yes,
here.
that's the most important thing. She's not dead.
I wasn't even aware we have archives that go as far back as this. This is before the city was even founded. Sometimes I wish you never even came here, because all you've given us is a headache.
Wow, Becca, that's a low blow.
You know why I haven't come here. My dad. Your dad has nothing to do with this. It has always been you and your whiny, careless self that has always been the problem.
Hey internet, it's Jessica and welcome back to The Letter. So we are still in Ashton's chapter and everything is just a mess because Becca and Isabella keep fighting, but Becca took it a little bit way too far, actually way too far, not a little bit. She took it way too far by insulting Isabella instead of like helping the group solve the problem. So now Ashton, obviously I took Isabella's side because I want them together, and now let's see what happens.
Isabella.
I should probably apologize to Becca. I know she only means well, and I said some really bad things.
That's not fair. Rebecca should apologize to you too, you know? Like, it's not just Isabella's fault. The corners of her mouth quirk up, almost as if she's too ashamed to say the thing she said.
Don't worry. She can be pretty stubborn, but she'll listen. Especially to you.
You think?
You're one of the few people she likes.
I know, Ash. I just thought we'd find something in there. That if I go back, we'll get the answers we need.
No, it makes sense. They have to go to the mansion. Shortly, Rebecca comes into view, clutching her hands firmly in front of her and spotting the same uncertainty in her face. She casts a curious look, then shifts a nervous one to Isabella, who studies her with an almost hopeful gleam in her eyes. Their fight never did last long.
Belle, can we talk alone?
And her interruption could have not come sooner, and I'm all glad for it. Whatever kind of friendship I share with the two, this remains something only two of them, much like my own with Zach. I'm the outsider. They don't need me here. It's all the reason I need. Muttering excuse and flashing Isabella a quick, knowing smile, I hastily exit out in the main lounge and leave for them to mend things on their own. He's gonna slip out and go to the mansion by himself because he thinks that's a good idea. Oh, Rebecca's the one who comes to us at the car. I thought it would be Bella. Rebecca turns just as I near, the corner of her mouth twitching up in a weary smile. She offers no greeting except for the slight tilt of her head. Even as my pace slows and I look at her with all the unvoiced questions in her eyes, she remains wordless, merely throwing her head back and shifting her attention up to the starless sky when I come to stand beside her. Another gust of wind blows and she breathes out a sigh, weary, thick, and with some close to a resignation. The breeze carries all of it away when she hugs her arms close to herself to keep her warm, which raises the question of why she's out here.
I'm not here to stop you. Wherever it is you're planning to go off tonight, I won't be able to anyway. You look like you've already made up your mind.
Go back inside. It's going to rain soon. It'll probably be even heavier than the downpour we had this morning. You wouldn't want to be caught in it.
I will, in a moment. I just want to stay out here a bit for some air, away from the noise inside. Everything's been so chaotic these days. This little break is nice. Even if it means standing in the middle of a parking lot, of all places. Getting out of this mess would definitely be better, but hey, you take what you can get, right?
It'll be over soon.
The confidence in my own words surprises even me. How do I know? Why am I so sure? When, in truth, when I'm about to do the last-ditch effort, if this all fails, if I don't find anything, we're back to square one. It's the last lead I have. After this, we have nothing else to go on from. Regardless, it seems to amuse her, and her laughter soon sounds above the murmur of the distant traffic and the light draft sweeping around us.
How I wish. I'll be content as long as she stops showing up in my mind whenever I close my eyes.
I think that may take some time. The brain doesn't easily forget trauma.
I can try, but, you know, it also did a lot to us.
Tell me about it. The back of my head's still smarting from my fall last night.
Not that kind. I'm talking about us. As people. I hate to admit it, but this whole deal with the ghost, with the curse, it also brought out an ugly side to us.
Yeah, it really did.
To all of us. And it made me realize plenty of things about myself, about
She gonna confess? What's she doing? Rebecca trails off. Suddenly, a pensive expression spreads across her face. I've seen it countless of times before, and every time I've seen it on her, it usually followed by a memory, a silly story, or even something embarrassing I've said from childhood. Unlike me, who will much rather forget, she remembers each of them so easily. And after a short bout of silence, when she smiles, I know this is one of those times again.
Do you remember that one time, back in secondary?
Which one? We did a lot of dumb things back then. Well, I did, but you get the point.
Mandy.
I thought you still don't like her. Don't tell me you've kept in contact with her. Are you guys friends now or something?
Oh, no. We do see each other sometimes. On the way to work or when I go out for lunch, but it's nothing like that. We're not friends. Not in this lifetime. I don't think so. I don't think we'll ever get along, but if it wasn't for her, we wouldn't even be friends, yeah? You stood up for me that day. And from then on, things have changed.
She makes it sound like I'm some sort of hero. Mandy was in the wrong, of course. I'll defend her. If no one's going to stand up for her, who else will? Chances are, it would have escalated, and who knows? Maybe she would have stopped going to school or transferred. Any decent human being with an ounce of sense should know better. I acted because I know what I'm doing is right. It's simple as that. Yet, she smiles as if it's worth more than that. A fondness that goes beyond nostalgia.
I guess...
Jesus, guy's so dense!
I guess what I'm trying to get at is... This time, I don't want this to go unsaid. You know, just in case something happens, Ash.
Oh my god.
I've always been in love with you.
Oh, she did it! She confessed! Oh my god, and I feel bad! Oh no! She says it so plainly, holding my gaze, and in a voice too frank, that her admission stuns me into silence. Like the wind has suddenly been knocked out of me in one fell swoop. No words will form, not even a single coherent thought, as the meaning of her words bear down on me. Nevertheless, she continues, desperate to express everything she has kept to herself for all these years. This is what the fondness is. Why, for her, it weighs heavier than any feeling of nostalgia can carry.
Since that time in secondary?
Oh my god, she did it!
Since I made that promise to never leave, I've always truly loved you.
Afterwards, there is relief, a weight suddenly being lifted from her shoulders after so long. She closes her eyes and lets out a breath. When she looks back to me, though, there's nothing but hope in them, eyes that are searching for an answer. Facing the sincerity behind her words, I find myself scrambling for words. Because as much as it pains me to admit, I can't give her the same affection she's asking me from me. Oh, man! I think it's also adding to the fact because my relationship with Isabella is full. Hers is, like, below the bar from where they started from the game. This is the point of the start. So, it's not enough. If I had the bar filled, he would accept her confession and then they would be together. Because I know that Ashton can be with Rebecca. This is so bad. I feel really bad because, like, I feel for the girl, man. She's been in love with this dude for, like, 20 plus years. And then now she finally had the courage to say it. But it's like, she's too late because he's in love with Isabella, so it's just like, oh god. Because as much as this pains me to admit, I can't give her the same affection she's asking from me. We might have spent so many years alongside each other, hell, we practically grew up together, but that never automatically means I'll ever hold her feelings. That goes beyond the boundary of friendship. I do appreciate her presence in my life. I'm more than glad that she has stuck with me even through the toughest moments. Even when she finds me difficult or aggravating. However, it's really all there is to it. She is a close, important friend to me, but nothing more.
Rebecca,
I draw in a breath, ragged, unsure, uncertain how and which words to put together, so it will hurt her less. So the wounds they might leave won't be as deep or scar. In the end, I can only utter an apology.
I'm really sorry, Becca.
Eeeh.
I'm glad, I'm happy you feel that way, but I can't. I can't. There's already someone that I'm in love with.
Damn, he said that to her face! Oh my god, like, I admire him for being honest, but, like, you're trying to be less hurtful, and you're like, I'm in love with someone else. Like, oh no!
Someone else.
It all takes my willpower to force myself to even look at her. For sure there will be hurt. Maybe she'll even be angry, but I don't hold it against her. And sure enough, when our eyes meet again, her mouth has already settled into a tight line, and she assumes a rigid pose. There's a sharpness in her gaze, but behind it is pain, undeniable searing, something that she tries to hide by hastily looking away and stepping back.
Becca, I know this.
It's all right, Ashton.
Oh, girl.
You don't have to explain anything.
I feel so bad. I want to hug her. Oh my god.
Yeah, but you should... I should...
I told you, no need. It's not like I didn't have an idea or anything. When you think about it, it's really quite obvious. The way you've always looked at her said everything.
Oh my god! And, I mean, yeah, she's right. It's very obvious. Everyone knows that Ashton is in love with Isabella. Even remember the security guard at BRC was like, "Is that your boyfriend?" Like, he knew too, and he barely knows Ashton. So, it's like plainly obvious that everyone knows he's in love with her. It's just completely awkward because she just said that she loved him. Wow, this is even worse than when Isabella turned down Ashton in my first playthrough. Oh my goodness.
Anyway, let's just end this conversation here, all right? I don't think it would do us both any good. This is going to get really awkward if we keep at it. When all has been said and done,
awkward.
At least I told you, right? Maybe I can finally let this whole thing go. Who knows?
I think so. Even though she's not gonna end up with Ashton, it does make sense that, like, she can finally let it go because she's been holding it in for so long. So in a way, it does help, right?
Thanks for hearing me out, though. I won't keep you long. I know you have things to do. Just promise me you won't do anything dumb, all right?
She doesn't wait for an answer. Instead, she flashes me one of her strained smiles before walking away, while the only thing I can do is watch her retreating back. In that one moment, one conversation, something also breaks between us, something irreparable. A different kind of regret, haunting me amidst the silence of my car as I drive off and leave it all behind. Oh, girl! Okay, this is a little bit different because Marianne is not in the basement, so we're at the mansion now. I really am curious if Ashton is gonna find Marianne's body or Hannah's body, because those are the two that are dead in the house right now, and I don't know if we're gonna see them, and I hope we don't. I kind of don't want to, you know, so. The only problem is having an overactive imagination and walking amidst a place shadowed by death. Every sound, every sudden movement, even the faintest of it, spurs it. At times, there are scrambling, small noises that abruptly rises above my footfalls. Rebounding off the hollow walls are echoed and audibly across the whole span of the tunnel, before fading away just as swiftly as it rang.
It's probably just some animal.
Yeah, just some animal! The wine cellar.
Right into the kitchen, man.
No! Marianne! Oh my god, more than eager to get out of this place, I quicken my pace. But soon after, as the door within arm reach, I push for it. A foul, putrid scent assaults my senses. A heady mixture of odor, a skins of rotting fruit and decaying meat that catches me completely off guard. Surprised, I stumble back, gagging, having accidentally breathed a lungful of it. Only for my foot to end up disturbing the edge of a nearby puddle I failed to notice earlier. It sends the splashes of liquid right across the hems of my pants, and I fight the urge to grimace as a raw metallic scent rises up in the air! A smell I'm already more than familiar with, thank you very much. That doesn't mean I have to like it. Sighing, I take a brief moment to brace myself before crossing the threshold, already expecting the worst. Oh my god, I don't want to see! They're gonna show her body, aren't they? The trail of dark liquid leads me to it. It's a form of a slumped against the wine vat not too far from the door. The rank lingers heavy here, stronger. Yeah, but in a place like this, you can't really tell the time of death from that alone. The humidity and the temperature of this room has likely delayed the process. An estimate? This person has died sometime around 3 or 5 days ago. That's right, he's a cop, so he kind of knows these things. Which places the timeline around the time the people are just moving in, and also the housewarming party. A servant then? No. Someone with the same social status as the Wrights. Whoever it has also read the letter, based on the writing around the body. Someone who was also present during the opening house and party. So a guest. Wordless, I draw closer. Oh my god! Muttering a quiet prayer under my breath for the departed. I don't want to see. I'm so scared. The least I can do is figure out who it is, and try to find his or her family once I'm done here. Let them know what has become of their kin. Even though the layers of clothing, its shoulders feels cold and to the touch. Somehow despite not being new to this, it still sends a nauseating chill to my stomach. Oh my god. Maybe it's because of this time I know exactly why this person died. Ah! Another innocent casualty of this curse. Ignoring the dread gently, I give a bizarre pull. Yikes! Oh Unexpectedly, her head lolls back, twisted, contorted, severed. It dangles. Fuck, it dangles from one side to the other before settling in an odd angle. The next thing I know, I'm staring at its hollow base of its neck, with only a thin layer of skin keeping the severed head to the body. But the more than the gruesome sight or the sickening feeling that has lurched up in my throat, it's recognition. I know this woman! And not from just anyone I've seen randomly on the street. She's the same one I met at G's 5 days ago. Smashed drunk and babbling her frustrations about her employers. Marianne McCullough, famous interior designer extraordinaire. Oh my god, I hate this. Jesus, not so extraordinary now. Really, Ash? With her throat sliced viciously in half and her whole body drenched in her own blood. Oh my god. Once the surprise subsides, I muster the courage to proudly lie her down, closing her eyes and covering her face with my handkerchief. Oh, well, that's nice of you to do. It's perhaps the kindest gesture I can offer her right now, pressed for time as I am. But for someone to suffer this kind of death, in the end, the only thing I am able to do is avert my gaze and continue with my plans. Surreal. This is all nothing but a surreal nightmare, but after everything, should this even surprise me? Ghosts? Curse? Hidden passages? Can't even bring myself to vocally question anything anymore, in spite of a number of them already swimming inside my head.
You really believe it'll be that easy?
Okay, there she is, talking to Ash. Okay, so this is when she saw Lady Charlotte in the attic crying, and Johans came out of nowhere and just attacked him. The next thing I know, a piece of cloth is closing around my neck. Without warning, my attacker pulls tight.
Get away from him!
There's Bella! Okay, so we knocked out Johans and attached him to his bed, so let's see if Ashton's confession will actually end in, like, you know, a happy thing. Tiny gestures that mean nothing at first, but begin to matter to me only one day until, despite myself, a small smile slips from my lips as the same warmth from earlier unfurls in my chest. Unhurried, familiar, and bright from all these years I've carried it, but have never given the words for it.
Stop smiling like that, Ashton! I'm not done scolding you!
But this time they come easy.
I heard all of it. Don't worry.
Are you really okay? That guy hit you a little too hard on the head. Here, let me...
I reach up just as she extends a hand towards my face, catching her wrist in a light grip, drawing it closer, and folding her hand between mine. Although her expression does shift into a mild confusion, she does not pull away like I'm expecting. She simply stares at me, searching. For her to allow a gesture from me to perhaps be too close, it tells a lot how far things have already shifted in the past few years. Cradled in mine, her hand still trembles. Most of the tremors already subsided by now, though I doubt will fade away this soon. Even as I trace the lines of her palm, in what I hope is a comforting gesture.
I'm sorry, Belle.
For what? Is this about what happened tonight? You can apologize later, when...
No, well, this too, but it's not just about this. It's for a lot of things. For calling you clumsy and careless and a scatterbrain.
Are you sure this isn't a concussion?
You would think that, wouldn't you?
Yeah, considering.
Well, you don't usually apologize.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry about that too. For all the times I've teased you and made you cry.
Unexpectedly, her fingers tighten around mine, our hands falling between us as something tender shifts in the air. Another exhale. Another drawn breath ease out of me, filled with every hesitation and uncertainties. But when I finally choose to break silence, it's only when I know that what I will slip past my mouth is the one truth I will hold against the world.
But for all those callous words, despite all those...
Do it!
There's nothing I don't love about you. In fact, those things... I love those. And everything. Everything that's you.
For a long moment, she offers no response. Her grip on my hand merely tightens. Although my heart pounding hard against my ears, I take a chance to look up. She's leaning away and giving her cautious glance, more than ready to hear her rejection. Instead, I find her on the brink of tears, with an almost unreadable expression on her face. When she notices my eyes on her, she hastily reaches up and wipes it back with her hand. It does not keep them from falling, and soon they trail down her cheek despite her best attempts. To say this panic shoots right up in the base of my throat is a complete understatement. This isn't how I expected this to go. It's like, I love you, and then the girl you say it to starts crying.
Hey, Belle, did I say something wrong?
Why would you? I don't even have anything.
What?
I don't have anything.
What?
I'm not rich. I live off instant
Oh,
noodle bubbles every
sweetheart.
day. I can't do anything properly without someone helping me. Except maybe if it's drawing, but that's beside the point. I didn't even get to graduate,
Oh,
even if I was so
I wanna
close.
hug her, sweetheart.
I'm not even sure that scholarship will get me anywhere.
Oh.
And ever since I came here, in the 5 years you've known me, I've got us into all kinds of trouble. So why would you even say that? I'm not...
Maybe it's the moment itself that spurs me into it. The desperation, the fear of almost dying, that I've already said more than what I'll usually allow myself, and I might as well finish before I lose my nerve. No matter the reason, I reach out for her. Gently, so unlike the way she barges into our life so many years ago, the way she came in would leave a terrible impression on anyone, really, and yet it's people like her that you don't easily forget. It's them that gradually worms their way into your personal life until the very thought of losing them becomes unbearable. Isabella trails off once my palm brushes against her tear-stained cheeks, but she neither pulls away nor pushes my hands off. Rather, she looks at me wide-eyed with another searching look. I only have one answer for that.
It doesn't matter. All of that is still you, and that's enough for me.
Oh, no promises, only truth. Perhaps the only genuine thing I can offer her at the moment. We don't even know what will happen or if we will ever survive this. Oh my god. So instead of words, I lean in, our foreheads briefly touching, before brushing my lips tenderly against hers. Oh my god! Yo! Oh! I got them together! Oh! I love it! Oh my god! I'm gonna fucking cry because Ashton has to die after this! What? Oh no! I can't! Dude, they're gonna- oh no! I'm gonna break them up! Oh god, this is like bittersweet because I'm so excited that I got them together, but now it's just like, by the way, Ashton has to die! The kiss is nothing intimate by any means. There's a brief second our lips touch when she tenses, unsure. A long moment of not knowing what that to do with her hands, until she settles them on me, slipping it up on my arm in a light grip, too afraid to make a mistake or hurt. But for now, it's enough. It's the closest we can come to it. Rather than give out an empty promise or grand proclamations, we have this. Something she soon understands as her shoulders ease and her permeates me to draw her closer, deepening the kiss. Oh my god! Softly and gentle a short second, as simply allowing the world to melt away around us, and to this roar above anything else. Like every little thing between us that has built up to this one single point in time, a moment that becomes ours and ours alone. Something to hold close until all of this is over. How fucking awkward, like, Johannes is in the background knocked out, handcuffed to the bed while these two are making out. We part later to the sounds of the world rushing back to us. Thunder, rain, and lightning. All to remain us both of a relatively we have to face. Yet, when I glance back to Isabella, all she has for me is a small smile, bright and hopeful. And its strength is enough. One that I try to draw from when the rest of my forehead against hers one last time, before leading us both out, her hand in mine. Okay, I unfortunately have to end this episode right here. Oh no, I don't like this, because the next part is gonna be awful. It's gonna be so awful. Oh god, but at least I did what I wanted to and get Ashton and Isabella together. I do feel bad for Rebecca though, because she just straight up said, I love you, and he's like, I love it, Isabella, so... Oh god, this sucks. But it's like, it's great, but it sucks. Oh, I don't know. Anyway, if you guys enjoyed this episode of The Letter, remember to leave a like, let me know in the comments what you think, and be sure to subscribe and hit the bell button so you know when I upload the next episode of The Letter. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye! What the fuck? Ah! Run, Leon, run! Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, it's start- Oh, uh-oh, there's people! Oh no! Nightmare confirmed. Should I say hello? Do these people say hello to one another?